really the answer to how do I come up with the best thing to say is just really, really listen.
People feel that a conversation went well if they did a lot of talking.
For some reason, it bothers me that like I need to be seen in this way on this thing.
I have a deep belief that bodily things like this are just like human and happen to everyone.
I have more bad bathroom stories than the average man.
Hey, welcome back. We're not for everyone. I'm your lover, Jess, and I'm here with your hater, Caroline. It's a podcast hosted by one hater and one lover, and we're together again. And I have a lot of weird things to talk to you about
Mm,
right from the get, if you're down for that.
yeah.
Okay. Well, while we were apart, those few weeks that we were recording our solo episodes and stuff, I aggregated a lot of notes and I was like, I'm really excited to talk to Caroline about these things. And I was looking through them this morning to get organized for today, and like all of the good ones happen to be bathroom related.
Okay.
So I have some potty humor up top, and we're just going to go down my list of some bathroom related observations that I want your take on.
Like a
Okay.
hot take? Okay.
You could give me a hot take. I just want to know if you relate to some of them, maybe if you have answers for some of them. There's really three.
Mm, okay.
Okay. So the first thing is, have we talked about peeing in cups yet on this show? Like, has that
No.
come up?
No, not yet. No.
Can we just talk about what a ridiculous ask that is when you go to the doctor and you have to pee in the cup and
Yeah.
you're a woman and you don't have a bodily device that like shoots, points and shoots?
And then points
Can
and
we talk
shoots.
about that?
And they're like, oh, and then just take it, walk it down to the lab, which is down the hall.
You have to pee in a cup and then you have to take a wet cup down the hall.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
parade your own
You're pee.
pee
And then you have to hand it to
down
someone and
the
be like,
hall.
here you go. And
I
like
made this.
kind of smile at them. Like, what's your energy supposed to be when you arrive at that
What is your
person?
energy supposed to be? Ah,
Are you supposed to be
it's
like
so
proud
funny.
or like really chill
Are
about it?
proud.
Or
It's funny
like,
because I know like they're medical professionals and they do it literally probably hundreds of times a day and they don't care, but they still know that I don't do it hundreds of times a day. So like me, I feel like I still have to act shameful. I feel like that's my part of the routine. Because if I'm
yeah,
acting just like confident and proud, they're like, "Well, I'm chill about this, but you should feel weird," you know?
exactly. Exactly.
And I
But
do. I
I
do.
almost want to know if there are listeners who are like nurses or medical assistants or something, what, like, if they have a take on this, if it's like a thing that's talked about in the medical community, how weird
Yeah.
patients are when they deliver their pee in the
I
cup.
know because you know the nurses and doctors are like, listen, I'm elbow deep in vomit every other hour. Like I'm sticking things in rectums. Like I don't give a fuck about you carrying a cup of pee. You know they
Right.
don't give a fuck.
I know that they're fine. It's just like I think I want to match their chill. Like they're fine. They do this all the time. So I want to act like, "Oh yeah, this is no big deal to me too." But I don't think I successfully do
Your
that.
compulsion to fit in is
I just want to match
touches
energies. I just
everything. I just want to
want to
match
match
energies.
energies. Okay, so here's
Yeah,
another
and be
matching
like, "Where's
energy.
yours?" You give them your cup and you're like,
Yeah.
"Where's your cup?" I'm
Tradesies.
so stoked to take your cup.
Right. But I'm not that stoked, like if I'm not supposed to be stoked. Okay, another matching energy bathroom moment is
Okay.
when you're either waiting, let's say you're at a restaurant and it's a like single person bathroom. So there's a line that
Mm-hmm.
forms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The look that you give someone, the like
Mm-hmm.
greeting and like
Oh
smile that you
no.
exchange with someone when they leave the bathroom and you walk in. Do you know what
Uh,
I mean?
I don't look people in the eyes that often. I think I really avoid eye contact, but there is still sometimes an exchange. Yeah.
There's an exchange that happens when you've been waiting for the bathroom and then the person walks
Yeah.
out and you're just kind of like, I wish I
We're
could make the face that
yeah,
I'm
it's
making
so
over
funny.
audio.
That's
You
so
just give them a
funny.
little like nod and
Yeah.
closed lip smile of like, good day. Like, thank you. I will go into the bathroom after you
Yeah.
now.
Here are my judgments. My
Yeah.
judgments in that moment. I'm not I'm not opposed to the exchange of expressions. I'm not opposed to it. I'm also not hoping for it. What does annoy me is when someone comes out and it's only ever a young female comes out and they just don't hold the door for you at all and they just kind of like let it like blow
You're
you in the
so
face
right.
and it's annoying to me. And then if they do hold it for you and they're like, okay, you can go in there and do your poopies now, like I didn't mind, put yours on top, and they hold it for you a little bit, I appreciate it, and also it makes me laugh that we're like sharing our poopy house together.
That's exactly it. I
But
had this moment.
it also annoys me. I'm like, fucking hold the door for me. It's the young women. Sometimes there are those moments. I don't know. I have this feeling with like different populations in society where like there are a lot of young women who won't ever fucking hold the door for you when they definitely should. And I'm like, yeah, this is why people hate young women. And then,
Yeah,
or like
true.
entitled seeming young women. And then I had a moment this morning, like walking from Whole Foods on like a Sunday morning, walking down the street on a Sunday morning, like with a coffee with Justin walking back from Whole Foods, and every other person on the corner looked like the identical white person. Like we were all in
Oh, yeah.
uniform with our fucking coffees and our fucking Lululemons. And I was like, God, this is why people hate white people. Like this is my culture, but like sometimes you guys are so annoying. Sometimes you guys are so fucking annoying to look at. And I have those moments like with these slices of my own culture sometimes. Anyway, that's how I feel about young women who don't hold the poopy door to you.
Yeah, I get it. It's like you're making the rest of us look bad. Like, can you just
Yes.
show some decorum or something so that
Yeah.
people stop hating us? Yeah.
Yes.
I get that. Well, there's the scenario where it's like a normal, they leave the bathroom, you go into the bathroom, you exchange the closed lip smile, they hold the door for you, everything's fine. Something about that, even though it's the normal way that it should go, is still bizarre to me.
Okay.
And then the
That moment
alternative
of
is like,
camaraderie.
yeah, like, oh,
Yeah.
we're both we both use the bathroom around the same time. Like we must have drank water and ate food
What
around
are
the
the
same time.
chances?
Did you
What are
have a
the
7 p.m.
chances?
reservation? Oh, same. So I guess we're on the
Yeah.
same like timing here.
Did you have a
Um,
small snack right before
right before
that got things going before you got the bread basket at the table? Yeah, me too.
100% same. And then there's a situation where somebody leaves the bathroom or you leave the bathroom and it smells, but it smelled before you got in there. You know,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
smells, you walk
my
in,
friend
you're like,
Tessa
shoot.
calls it getting framed. Somebody
It
frames
is
you
getting
for a
framed.
stink. Yeah.
And then there's like almost a little shrug that I do when I'm
A little
framed to be
shrug.
like, to try to communicate through the shrug and the eyes that like it wasn't me, Shaggy, it wasn't me, you know?
Wasn't me. That's funny.
Anyway, I was just thinking a lot
Yeah.
about this bathroom interactions.
I mean, it's hilarious. It's so funny. Also, why hasn't there been a rom-com yet where the meet cute is like them having diarrhea at the same time waiting for the bathroom and they're like,
Like on a plane.
"Oh, yeah." And then you were describing the like little closed lip smile that you exchange, but I'm like kind of dazed and I thought I heard closed-lipped kiss and I was like, "What if you just had to do a little kiss to
A little
to
forehead
exchange
kiss.
positions in the bathroom?" No lips. I want lips.
A little lip kiss.
Mm,
I'm thinking somebody,
mm.
one person kneels, the person who's walking in kneels to the person who's walking out, and the person who's
Oh.
walking out plants a forehead kiss, and then they,
Oh, okay.
like a little, it's like
I
a royal
guess.
dubbing ceremony.
Yeah, just a little dab, kind of.
Just a little something.
It
Okay,
is
here's my
funny.
last. Oh, go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I have
Okay. No,
more. Yeah, I do have more bathroom
I was
content.
gonna squeeze one in. Well, the moment to me that's always crazy is when you go into a public bathroom and it's a row of stalls. It's a bunch of stalls
Yes.
all lined up, and just like the construct of like it's like if I walk outside of the stalls in the public shared sink area, it is so not okay for me to just like rip a fart there. But if I just walk behind this little flap of a door where you can still see my feet, and if I jumped, you could see my head, and if you
See
look
my
through the crack, you can see me, and like we're sharing the same air, I can rip it in there. I
Yeah,
don't know,
that's
something
so
about
true.
that, just like everyone just like lining up in these like little zones that are not separate areas at all and just farting in the line. It always makes me laugh. And then we walk out and we're like, oh, I was just reading in there. I wasn't doing
Right.
anything out of the ordinary. Like, I'm the lady. I'm a lady.
That is a really good setup for what my next point was because it was about the stalls. First of all, yes, agree that it is bizarre that like these little metal, forms like are
Little
what
fart
make that
zones.
okay. At the
Yeah,
same
what?
time, imagine if those weren't there because, for example, okay,
Ancient
it's
Greece. Are
become
you about to tell? Are you about to tell? Are you about to tell me about ancient Greece?
no, never.
Okay. Well, I am. All right. Keep
Are you
going.
talking about like the how they didn't they just
Ha-
like pee in a dirt like in the ground in like a hole in the
I'll
ground?
pull up the Wikipedia. What is wrong with me? I just
Okay.
woke up for a nap. Okay,
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
You can
You
share
tell
your
me what you're
screen,
gonna
by the
say.
way, on Zoom if you want to do it that way, and it would make it easy.
Okay.
Okay, no, what I was gonna say is about how you're seeing more and more like all gender bathrooms, which I'm supportive of. I'm all good with that. However, because the restaurant, let's say, or the whatever place you're at, was originally built to have one female restroom and one male restroom, the way it's set up is still such that the female bathroom has a bunch of stalls with doors
Mm-hmm.
and toilets, and the
Mm-hmm.
male bathroom has a bunch of urinals and then maybe
Mm-hmm.
one stall with a toilet. And now all they've done is put signs on both of them that say
Mm.
all genders. I get it and I'm for the movement towards that. However, I
Okay.
really personally do not prefer to go into the one with a urinal. And the main reason is because why isn't the urinal in a stall too? And
Yeah,
then
that's funny. That's
it
so
just starts to make
true.
you think like why were men's bathrooms always constructed in a way where it was just a line of urinals, nobody cared about privacy. Like I get that they don't have to take off their full pants to go pee, but they're still
But they're
pulling
still
out
out.
their
They're still out.
dicks.
You can see them if you want to see them. You can still see them.
You can still
Yeah.
see them.
You know
So
that the designer of like the original like men's bathroom, yeah, it's probably ancient Greece, and it was
probably.
just some pervert, and they're like, okay, well we took care of we took care of the public women's bathroom in this library, so on to the men's, and they're like, okay, well we got the stalls lined up, and he's like, no, 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 we're doing something different, and they're like, why? What do you mean? Whoa, I think it's just nicer to have them out and about,
It's
and
just
just
nicer.
let him breathe. Well, what's the difference with, I mean, actually, the women are kind of like more communally, like safer with each other in their bodies, and we even
Right.
divided them up. No, 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 no. I think I want to kind of peep next to them in case somebody likes, in case I like
I
that. I'm not saying I like it, but someone might like it. Someone might
somebody
feel
might like that.
claustrophobic.
I think you're right about ancient Greece. I think what we're learning is that that's where it all started and where it all went wrong. Do you have a visual for
I do have a
us?
visual. So, this is an article from Smithsonian Magazine.
Tickle.
Article. My brain is not awake. Smithsonian Magazine. How the ancient Romans went to the bathroom. Um, wow, really exciting. So it is basically a. It kind of looks like a bench made of stone, a long bench. And then there's just holes carved into it, like little seats in the top of the
Okay.
bench, several of them.
Oh, that's fun.
And the bench kind of curves around in like a U shape. So it's like, could cover all walls of a room. Okay,
Yep.
let me start this again. Picture a
Three
room.
walls.
Picture a room. Three of the walls are covered in a bench against the wall.
Hmm.
Little holes just to dangle your peepee in with a little room to swing it around without touching the sides if you wanted to. And they would just sit there and poop at the same time.
All
And
together.
all together, and they would just talk, and they didn't have toilet paper, so they used a soft, gentle tool called a tersorium, which literally translates as a wiping thing. And it was just a little sponge, like if you just punctured a sponge with a stick,
Okay.
and they all had one that they shared.
No,
Here, let me read a quote. Yep.
you lost me there. Oh, there's a quote from
Yes.
ancient
There
Rome. Perfect.
Yes. Let me see. Yeah, a quote from the bathroom. The clothes they wore would provide a barricade so you could actually do your business in relative privacy. Get up and go. Yes, they were skirts. Okay. And hopefully your toga wasn't too dirty after that. Ba, 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 ba. Despite the lack of toilet paper, toilet goers did wipe. That was what the mysterious shallow gutter was for. The Romans cleaned their behinds with sea sponges attached to a stick. And the gutter supplied clean water flowing to dip the sponges in. Delicious. Okay. The Romans liked to move their bowels in comfort. Whether they washed their hands after that is another story. Oh, what?
What is this article
Okay.
called again? Where can we find it if we want to like do
Uh,
a deep dive later of a book club?
this is Smithsonian Magazine. How the ancient Romans went to the bathroom. You need to see these
Fantastic.
pics.
We'll
Yeah, they would
link
just
it.
sit there together,
I
chat, I
mean,
guess.
so then the question becomes, at what point did they decide, did society decide to separate men and women?
But
Number
separate men
one.
only for the poops.
Yes. And then in the men's bathroom, right, they still are together for peeing, but for the poops, they're separate. And for women, they're separate all the time. I just
Yeah.
think once the stall was invented and we all observed that farting in the main area is not cool, but farting behind the stall is cool, that should have
Mm-hmm.
been a sign to everyone that, like, oh, stalls are good. Stalls are necessary. Let's put them everywhere.
Yeah,
It's just very strange. Anyway, just what I've been thinking about.
I know. Can you imagine like sitting there, like they're basically like at a conference in this bathroom, like
Yeah.
sitting together, but then every once in a while, like whether you can see people's genitals or not, there's audio, there's sound effects
Oh, totally.
just interrupting,
And
just
maybe it's,
exploding from different corners of the room.
but you don't know who it is, and maybe
I
there's a
bet you
beauty
could
in that.
guess. I bet you could guess. Have you ever watched a baby poop?
Oh yeah, the facial expressions, the crinkle.
There's,
There's like a nose
yeah,
crinkle that
I
goes on.
actually hate it. I really hate it.
When
I
babies,
really hate
the
it.
face of a baby pooping.
Not so much a baby, but like a 2-year-old who's able to walk around, but they're still like shitting in their pants, and they'll just like stand at their little like I can see this so clearly, just like a little 2-year-old like standing at their little push train that they walk around with, like a kind of like a walker, and they'll just like stare you in the face while gripping their little push train walker and just be like, "Eh." And it's like, have some fucking manners. You're old enough to walk. Like, I don't know. It's probably the most I ever hate a child.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lot of other examples of when I'm not the biggest fan of children, but I'm okay with that one. I think it's
Ugh,
okay.
it's annoying. Yeah. Why
Did you
can't we teach
expect
shame younger?
shame is productive sometimes until it's not,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah, but we can't with no shame. What kind of civilization are we living in?
Yeah, I think we're approaching that pretty soon, actually.
Yeah, fair. Okay. Is that all you have to say about bathrooms right now?
That's it. Yeah. Did you like any of it? Like maybe it was okay to start on
I liked
that.
all of it. I liked all
Okay.
of it a lot. Yeah. This one time, here's a bathroom story. Should we just talk about
Should we
bathrooms
just
the whole
keep
time?
going? Yeah.
Um I mean, I have so many horrible bathroom stories because I have IBS. But one I'm thinking of was this one time. I still think about this in shame. Speaking of shame, I still think about this sometimes. Well, this one time I went over, there was this like sister-in-law from my ex's family, had the whole family over, like sisters and brothers and parents over for Easter brunch into their very small New York apartment. And it was a really nice apartment, but it was really small. It's New York. And so you're like eating Easter brunch right next to the single tiny bathroom. And I
Yeah.
was like super sick to my stomach. And I had to go to the bathroom. Going to the bathroom in New York apartments is the fucking worst. And I was in the bathroom and like, I did what the Lord forced me to do, and it was horrible and smelled so bad. And then I didn't have like any. Why do people not put bathroom spray or matches
Oh.
in there or something. And I'm like, what is has no one else sick daily?
No, you're gonna be
And
so happy when you come to my bathroom. I have all the
uh
accoutrements that you need.
like
Please.
you're
I
the one
respect my
who's
guests.
yes, you're the one eating fucking Easter eggs like 2 feet away. This isn't for me. This is for you. Put a fucking match in the bathroom. And it was like horrific. And I just spent 20 minutes in there. So everybody knew. And I was trying to like cover up the smell some way. And the only thing I could find that would create a scent was somebody's like hairspray or dry shampoo that was scented. So I was
Yeah.
spraying that all over the bathroom. And this was also kind of their housewarming. They just moved in there and whatever. I like sprayed that shit all over the place, then like went back to Easter brunch. And then later, we left the brunch, left the apartment, and the mother of whatever the family was like talking shit. And they were about her daughter-in-law who just hosted us because this was a toxic family. And the mother was talking shit and being like, just saying everything she hated about the brunch and being like, and their bathroom smelled like mildew. They had mold everywhere. I could smell it. I could smell it. I
Oh
was
my.
like, oh, that was for sure all the hairspray. I sprayed all the dry shampoo.
That's crazy. I have done
And
that before
I was
though.
just like,
Just
yeah,
whatever
they
you can
they
spray. Give me
did. I
any
was just like,
aerosol
yeah,
can. Yeah,
they
that
definitely
mildew.
did. They got mildew up in there. I was like, I know they don't keep a clean house, right? Gross. Couldn't be
Ew.
me.
I guess we'll never go back there, right? Let's go somewhere
Yeah.
with multiple bathrooms, actually. Let's
Yeah.
do that next Easter. Yeah, I have
Uh,
a lot of bad bathroom stories that I don't
so
even know. Like,
many.
do people want to hear them? Because I
I
don't
don't
even
know if they
know.
do, but it makes me mad to think about. I feel like I have more bad bathroom stories than the average man somehow.
Do
And
you mean man like male or just person?
the average male.
Okay. All right. Just clarifying.
Yeah, I just feel like like completely controls my life.
It's like a that was like a Declaration of Independence moment. Yes.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Or do I mean Constitution? Yeah, I
What
think I
was
mean Constitution. When
Oh,
you said man,
do I
and I
mean
needed to
person or
clarify, are we talking about? I'm just getting really,
yeah.
really political about it. Yeah, I did one time when I was doing stand up. I did a whole 10 minutes on this time that I shit my pants like on this it's called the
Classic.
606 in Chicago. It's the
Is it
equivalent of the
public
High Line in New
transportation?
York.
I
It's
knew it
like
was
a
going to be public
walkway. It's like
transport.
a
Yeah.
long
Okay.
trail basically that
Yeah.
goes through the city.
It's a public place where you shit your pants is the
It's a
important
public
part.
place where I shit my pants when I was like
Yeah.
a mile from my home after
Yeah.
having one of those like Starbucks unicorn frappuccinos or
Oh no.
whatever.
Was it a drizzle or was it like a flood?
Oh no, Caroline. Oh no, it wasn't a drizzle. It was
Oh, it was the full kahuna.
it was worthy of a 10-minute stand-up set. It was the biggest problem
Jessica.
I've ever had in my life. The biggest issue.
Jessica.
This was like only 3 or 4 years ago, I think.
Jessica.
I got this Starbucks drink and I went on like, okay, this is when I was unemployed, fun employed, like I was taking my career break. And I used to just go on like a 4 mile walk every day because I had nothing else to do. So I would
Right.
just go and walk forever and have a great time.
That's a great thing to do being unemployed. Wow.
It was the best life. I actually like miss that so much. It was also COVID, and so like everybody was doing more walking and
Yeah,
stuff
you gotta
outside
walk.
and whatever.
I gotta walk more.
So I just had to walk. So I got this drink and it was like 3 p.m. Usually I
Oh
did my
my
walks
God.
earlier in the day. This day, for whatever reason, it was a later walk, which I think was the first mistake. Then I got this drink because it was like trending on TikTok and it was pink and I wanted to take a picture of it.
Oh my
I
gosh.
walked a mile and a
Serves
half
you right.
away,
Serves you right.
right? And then like after a mile and a half, I felt my tummy grumbling and I was like, okay, okay,
So bad.
I hear you. I'll turn around. I'll go back. Don't worry. I
Yeah.
got it. I notice you. And then I was probably still like 3/4 of a mile away from my apartment and there was nothing to be done. I was trying to
So
think
what
of
did
like,
you do? So you just walked home like covered in your
yeah, so
creation?
luckily I had a sweatshirt and so
Yeah.
I tied it around
That's
my
the biggest
waist.
case I can make for sweatshirts
Yeah.
generally.
for
Yeah,
tying them around
basically.
your waist.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that look, I would say great for when you shit your pants in public.
Your
I was wearing like
pants.
leggings, a t-shirt, and a sweatshirt. And then when it happened, I tied the sweatshirt around my waist. I was like hoping that nobody could smell it. Luckily, everybody was wearing masks still. So I was like, okay, I think that people can't really smell me.
Jessica.
I got
Was it
home.
contained to your pants?
It was contained because of the
I really want to
leggings,
know. I
a lot
really
of
want to know the
compression.
details.
I
Okay.
know
Okay,
it's
you were in leggings. That's pretty good.
leggings. Yeah,
You don't
black
want to be see
leggings.
this. You don't want this to be in like a gaucho pant or something that
Oh
has
my.
like an airflow.
No, it was
Yeah,
leggings. The thing is that I mean
Jinkos.
it was quite a lot, Jinko jeans. It
Jinko
was quite a lot,
jeans.
but I could tell there was still more that needed to go. Like
Did
this
it
drink
have a
fucked
body
me
to it?
up.
Did it have a body to it, or is it just straight river?
It was more river than body. I'll say that. It was more
That makes
river.
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And I'm like walking home, like not making eye contact with anyone, hoping they don't smell
Yeah.
me. And then I finally get to my apartment door. And you know, when you get to your apartment
No.
door and your body thinks you're home, and so it's like, oh, we can let our bladder out, or we can let the shit, like whatever we've been holding, we can let go. So I'm like in the elevator with another person, and the rest of it goes. The rest of
No,
it happens.
Jessica,
I
with
swear.
another person?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What did they do?
They didn't know. I was really chill about it. This is why I want to approach nurses with my pee cup really chill because
Jessica.
I've had these face offs where I have to be chill in the face of.
What? They didn't smell it in an enclosed elevator?
No, it was like towards the end of the elevator. Like I got off like immediately after. And again, we were both wearing masks. And I don't know that it like smelled that bad. I don't know. The smell was the least of it. Anyway, that happened to me. Oh, and then
Jessica DeBakey.
the funniest
Jessica
part,
Xena DeBakey.
I had my AirPods in. And when this all started going down while I was on my walk, I muted the music because I was like, I feel like the music is gonna make it come out faster. Like I can't amp myself up more. So I just
Can't make
paused my
myself.
Spotify, but I still had the AirPods in. So then when I got to my apartment and went and to sit on the toilet,
Yeah, classic.
I like put my phone down and I must have hit the play button and I like landed on the toilet and it literally was like, oops, I did it again. That's why I did it on a stand-up stage. I was like,
Yeah, that's good.
I can't write this. It really happened to
Oh
me.
my God. Wow, that's really crazy.
It
I
was
mean,
crazy.
listen, hold on. Justin, can you hear me right now? He just goes, yeah. Can you close your ears or something?
This is like not conversation for anyone to
Just
hear except for
Justin,
thousands and
Justin,
thousands of
these are
people.
just stories about Jess. I need you to close your ears for a while.
Have some respect for me, Justin.
Are you doing it? Okay, get some earplugs, dude. Close the door to start with. Bro, please. Justin and I do not talk about the bathroom.
That's I can't relate, but I think that's good.
He
I
is
think
such
that's
a
good.
gentleman. He has never said the word fart out loud in my presence. He's never said the
Whoa.
word. He's never even said the word. He says he doesn't even think he said it with his friends.
Wow.
Are your
Yeah, I
friends
mean, I do
okay?
think this podcast, the first 30 minutes of this are gonna maybe upset some people because
He's not,
this is
no, he's not going
divisive
to
on if you
listen.
talk
Yeah.
about it or not. I talk about it.
Justin, put some earplugs in. I have to tell a story. And don't listen to this episode, no matter what. Abby, you can keep all of this in. All right. Are you fucking, can you hear me or what? Hello?
He can't hear
All
you
right. He can't hear me anymore.
unless he's lying. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't, he doesn't want to hear this. Yeah, Justin has literally never, I don't think he's never said fart. He's never said poop. We don't talk
Wow.
about this. And it's amazing. No need. I don't feel that missing from my life.
Wow.
But, but I do have IBS, and that not in like a casual chill. I wouldn't be included. I was medicated. I was medicated for years so that my intestines could function properly. I've seen so many fucking doctors. La 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 la. I had to go 6 years, no gluten, no dairy, no soy, because my body just couldn't digest. It's a mess. And I'll say this. I probably shit my pants a little bit, like at least once a month. Probably at
Oh my
least once a
gosh.
month.
Just
But
at
it's not
home?
just at
Like,
home
where are you?
usually. Just
Just
like
at home?
just a mistimed
Right.
grunt or something.
Like, you
But
know it's gonna come soon, but you didn't know it was that
no, just
soon.
I just don't know what it's gonna be sometimes. And
Okay, got it.
okay,
Okay.
so that's a monthly occurrence, but it's not that big a deal. It's just something that like I'm aware of. And it's not, but I do the way you're nodding at me. I've never
Trying to
had
be
an
supportive.
instance. I thank you. I've never had an instance. Yeah, me sitting here judging your story when I'm doing this once a month,
That
but
was
I've
a one
never had
time.
that.
Yeah.
I've never had the a full body to
The
it.
full firework works.
The
Yeah.
full, yeah, but I've had that moment in public a lot where I'm like, okay, I could fully shit my pants right now. And if I do, what am I going to do? Like, what piece of my clothing can I take off? What can, like, I might be taking off my shirt and I'm just in a bra, but I will wrap myself in the shirt or whatever it is.
Yep.
I'm often like,
It's
yeah,
important to
planning, like,
layer.
yeah, you want to be prepared in the case of an emergency. But there is one time, the worst had happened. It's usually just a little where I'm just confused. It's usually just a little. But this one time, this was like 10 years ago. And maybe like 8 years ago. And I had like gone out drinking with this guy. He was my friend, but like we would hook up sometimes. And then in the morning we went thrift shopping. And it was messy in a lot of ways, like, drinking and hooking up, but we were also friends. And he was like he was literally a therapist. So we would just like
Mhm.
therapize at each other. It was a fucking mess. But we were friends. But then there was also the sexy part, and then there was the thrifting part, and then we were in the thrift store,
The
and I thought
thrift.
and then the thrifting part, and I thought I was like just farting casually, but it was more than that. It was more. And it came out
Oh.
more than that in the summer where I was wearing cut off jean shorts, cut off, like barely covered the butt cheek. And I was like, this is out already. It's already out. And I'm just standing here in a thrift store with this dear friend I'm hooking up with and thrifting with. And
Oh
I'm
my.
sorry that I about the rest of the story and people are gonna whatever, this is what I had to do. So I went and
Unsubscribe.
I found a brown dress at the thrift store, and I took
Genius.
the brown dress into the stall and cleaned myself up,
Oh, oh.
and I hung it back on the rack. I I think that is where I went wrong.
I'm shocked.
I think I should have thrown it away. I think I
Oh,
should have thrown it away, but I didn't know how to throw it away. There wasn't a trash can. I would have had to buy it. And so I would have had to take a poop covered dress up to the cash register.
like there was no time. Are you saying that there was no time? And so you did
What
this
do you
all very
mean?
quickly? I'm just
What do you
trying to like
mean?
build more of a case
Well,
for
tell
why
me
you
what
would have
else.
done
Like,
this.
I know the re-racking of it was a bad part, but I've never heard anyone offer a solution of what I should have done otherwise. Made a cashier. The cashier handles that item, and then they're standing there handling. It was a
No, but
giant thrift store. I
you're
just put it in a
assuming
corner. I just put it in a corner. Was like, no one will ever find this.
you're assuming that no matter what, you had to take the brown dress and
Yes,
cover it in your poop.
it wasn't covered. It was just a little cleanup.
Use it to
But
clean
yes,
up.
I did have to. I was basically standing with basically no clothes on. I was wearing a thong and
Oh my
booty
God.
like Daisy Duke cut off jean shorts.
That's
It was
awful.
already in the public. It was already into the public. There was no clothing containing it.
Right. Yes. Then that's what I'm saying is when I say you had to act quickly because
Yes,
basically like
immediately.
from that point you saw a brown dress, you
Yes.
took it. It was
Yes.
survival mode. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's like if I came right now and just pooped on your bare knee. Like you'd have to do something pretty quickly about it.
Oh, my
You'd have to do
knee.
something. It's already here among us. There's no clothing between it and us.
Um, yes, I understand. I understand. I think given that, I don't know what else you would have done. Like in an
Yeah.
ideal situation, I would have like probably looked over at the cashier and seen if it was a woman And if it was a woman, I probably would
No.
have gone and
There,
been
it's
like,
not a
"Hey,
nurse.
I
This
need
is
your
not a
help
nurse.
now."
No,
Yeah,
this is not a nurse. They are not required to help me with the poop. I would rather.
they're
I
not
just tried to hide it.
required, but I
No, I
think
don't think that's their
everybody
job.
has these stories, and that's why
What are
I
they gonna
am
do
okay
though?
with
What are they
talking
gonna
about
do?
it.
She was gonna get a
I
brown
don't
dress
know.
too.
She could have given you the brown dress and then she could have just like thrown it away in the back rather than
You're
you
telling
hanging
me,
up the
stop,
brown dress.
stop it, stop it. Stop giving
She
me
might have had a
wizened
towel
advice.
somewhere.
Stop giving me wizened advice and look me in the eye and tell me you actually would have walked up to a stranger in a store where she is on the clock and being held hostage with you and your shitty leg, and you would have said, "Help me. I'm an adult woman. I pooped my leg. Look at it.
I
Help
I
me." You
think
genuinely
I
would have
might
done
have
that.
done that.
I
Yeah.
don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Because this is my thing. This is my whole thing. Is
Clear,
that
but there's a clear solution there. Is like there's clothing everywhere.
I don't know
I
if
can
that would have
just
been
take
clear to
one.
me.
That is clear
Well,
to me. I'm
yes.
resourceful. And then, so to me, that's saying
Yes.
like, I refuse to clean this up myself. So I'm going to go make this adult woman do it for me.
No,
That's crazy to
no.
me.
That's not what it is. But me cleaning it up myself is me ruining something that is also the purview of this adult woman who works here.
Oh, it was $1.99.
Okay, okay.
It
I
was
just
a
know
legit
myself,
thrift
and you're
store. It
not
was a dollar ninety
you
nine.
got to let me say the thing that is my motivating factor in all of this, which is
Okay.
that I have a deep belief that bodily things like this are just like human and happen to everyone, which is part of the reason that
Well,
I'm
that's not a belief.
like
That's a fact. That's a scientific
it's a
fact.
fact, but because of that, my belief is that like we should all be more comfortable talking about it,
No, I
which
just
is
said I
why
hate
I talk
watching
about it
babies
on the
poop. I
podcast,
just said I hate watching
why I would
babies poop.
talk to my
I
boyfriend
don't
about it. I know
like
we
it.
clearly disagree on this, but this is something that I feel strongly about, which is why I would actually feel okay, assuming it was like I would have had to scope out the situation, and I very much get that you had little to help you out in that situation and little time. So like there's a
So
world
you're
in
saying
which I would have grabbed the brown dress too.
you would have
But there's
left
also
it
a
on
world
your
in
leg.
which
You would have left it on your leg and approached this woman and said, "Help wipe me." What are you saying?
no, I'm saying would
Why
you
is
do you
that
have
her
paper
problem?
towels? Do you have anything in the back where I could go back there and clean up? That's what I would
That's
do. It's
so
not her
crazy. And
job to
then she
wipe
has to
me.
watch you, and then she has to watch you walk around with it on you. Like it's
It's on me
visible.
already.
It's
It's on me
visible.
already.
Yeah, but don't draw her attention to it.
I don't care what she thinks. She might be able to help me with a towel or a paper towel.
But you could
You
also
know,
help
we
yourself.
all have
If
accidents.
I spill spaghetti sauce down my front at a restaurant, I don't flag the waiter over to wipe it off me. I'm gonna take care
Yes,
of that
but you also have
myself.
a napkin and you can go to the bathroom. And I'm saying I would ask her, do you have paper towels? Do you have a bathroom in the back that I could run to? Like, I just know that's what I would do. I just know that's what I
Wow,
would do. It's I'm not gonna be convinced otherwise. It
that's
doesn't mean you're
crazy.
wrong. I just know that's what I would do. Because I
Okay.
really don't have, we were talking about shame. I really try not to have shame about this type of stuff because I'm like, she's
Then
probably done it.
why
It's
didn't you
probably
just pull your
happened to her.
leggings? Why didn't you just pull your leggings down and shit in the elevator?
Well, of course that's not, come on now. Of course that's never going to be the situation. But, and I was about to be home, right? But if there was a person that might have had a paper towel, I would have tried to get that paper towel. That's all I'm saying.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then what are you doing with it after that? So you get the paper towel, you're standing there letting her watch you wipe yourself, and then you go, "Here
Hopefully
we
she can let me
go."
into the back and I can wipe myself down and then I can come and be, I mean, it sucks that you're with this guy. I don't know. That
You got to be
sucks.
careful. You got to be careful taking any steps at all because that stuff any kind of like thump of your foot on the ground is going to go splattering and now she's got to be on her hands and knees wiping it up. Meanwhile, your hookup is watching all of this
I
while he's
think
just trying to buy a new sweater vest.
right. I think, and then I think I would
That's
have
the
waved
time
to him.
pressure.
I
That's the
would have
time
waved to
pressure
him from
part.
across the way and been like, "I'm sorry, I really have to run. I'll text you later." And I would have called an Uber or something, or like,
I thought
I
you
don't
were gonna
know,
say call the police. I would have called the
call the
police.
police.
I would have
I
called
would have run
police.
away from him for sure, but maybe run towards other help if it
Oh
was
my
female help.
God.
That's probably what I would have done. Yeah.
But if you just even turn and pivot, he can see it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not contained in any way.
so when you used the brown dress to clean it up, was it
Yeah.
all gone?
Yes, it was just like a smattering. It wasn't a ton. It
But
was
that's
like,
exactly what I'm saying. So then if I used a
okay,
paper towel, the same effect would have been achieved, right?
okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so
We're
you're really
living in
telling
this
me
same world where it's that
while
same
you're
amount of
there,
poop.
while you're there with a man you're hooking up with, you would have let it sit on your leg for an extra minute or two while this cashier takes the time to process what the fuck you're telling her. Then go and find a
Maybe.
paper towel, then wipe
I
yourself
don't
down.
know.
I think this is the survivor's instinct that
Yeah.
maybe you
Well, we
don't
talked
have.
about it
Yeah, I
last week.
know.
I don't
You
know that
don't
I have it.
you
Yeah.
don't have a will to survive. And it's
But what
if
I
you
do
shit yourself
have,
in public and there's nothing between it and the rest of the world, you take care of that as quickly as possible, is what I believe. That's my belief.
I understand that. And maybe I don't have the will to
What do you?
survive, but what I do have is the ability to ask for help, which I think takes you far.
Oh God. I had to wipe my brother's ass as a child.
Like when he was a baby or like a
Like when
specific
he,
incident.
oh, just high school. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, we went to like a Montessori preschool. We were 2 years apart, and so maybe I was like 4 and he was 2, and they had several ages at the Montessori school. And the Montessori thing, I think this is why it was happening because Montessori was all like do it yourself. And we just like make our own lunches and like build our own fucking blocks or whatever. And then, but he was like still really young and he needed help wiping, but he didn't want one of the teachers to do it. So I was like in there, I was like, I'm still a baby too. I'm just a baby wiping this baby's ass. And he wouldn't let anyone else do it. And I remember being so annoyed and being like, I'm still eating sauce instead of food. Like, please, I don't want to do this.
This is above my pay grade.
Yeah. But
You.
yeah. Anyway, I was just thinking about wiping other people and when that needs to stop. And I do think it needs to stop at least by your 20s,
Oh yeah, I don't
Jessica.
know that I've ever wiped other people, and I'm comfortable leaving it there, you know? Other people wiping me, different story.
Different story.
Let's stop talking about poop, shall we?
Well, we've gone this far.
I know it's we're like far into the episode.
We've lost everyone. Everyone who doesn't want to be here has already left.
Everyone left, but now we might say something insightful and then the people who left wouldn't even know. And that's
Okay.
crazy.
So, yeah, so what's the point?
Yeah, maybe
If
so
if
we
you
shouldn't. So the
spend
point is we shouldn't.
yeah, if you spend an entire episode talking about shit and then you answer one what to do well, does a tree make a sound in the forest? Like, does
You're
anyone even
right.
care?
Let's not. Let me look at my other stupid notes. What
Yeah,
to
let's
do can
do
be
what to do.
another day.
Let's do what to do. Let's do what to do.
Okay, this one might be kind of it's not relevant. Don't worry, listeners. We're not going to talk about bathrooms anymore, but it is still kind of
Everyone's always left. Nobody's even here.
interestingly relevant. Yeah, it's just us now.
Support for Not For Everyone comes from BetterHelp. If you love listening to Not For Everyone, then you're going to love therapy even more. And what's great about therapy is it's just incredibly intimate and personalized to you. This week in therapy, I was talking about my recent engagement to Justin and this feeling that I had like, oh, I don't even know if I should be asking people to celebrate this with me because people are probably busy and they might not care. And why would they care? And they probably don't want to celebrate with me. And we talked it out and really pinpointed this feeling I have that even the people I love don't want to celebrate or really hear about my feelings. And that's not true, but it's this deep feeling that I have that people are too busy, that they're not interested, and that feeling actually has a self-fulfilling aspect to it where it keeps people at a distance and it keeps people away. This is just one of the many revelations that it really takes one-on-one therapy to uncover these little ways where you're sabotaging yourself, keeping yourself from being happier or more fulfilled or more connected, which is why I will love and swear by therapy until the day I die. I believe that therapy should be accessible to any person who wants it, and with BetterHelp, there are over 30,000 therapists available online. It's the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. It's convenient, it works with your schedule. You can join a session at the click of a button and help fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time for no additional cost. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/notforeveryone, that's all letters, all spelled out, today, and you can get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/notforeveryone, all spelled out. You're worth it.
All right. This listener wrote in and asked us, Hi, Jess and Caroline. I have a question about randomly running into friends slash neighbors slash acquaintances. How the heck do you stay present and have a meaningful conversation while not dragging out the interaction too long? I'm always so
Uh,
anxious about taking up too much of their time that I end up seeming like I'm the one in a rush to get going.
that's
I'd
so
love your
funny.
advice because I honestly feel like this one hangup is really costing me meaningful connections with cool people. Sincerely, a socially anxious diva. Cute.
That is a great question, and I 100% don't have an answer to it. Except I'm usually I'm always wrapping it up because I just feel awkward talking for a
Yeah.
short amount of time. As soon as I know we have to go, um, I don't like talking anymore, which is why I hate commuting home with someone. Whether it's like
Mm-hmm.
you had a dinner and then you're walking home together, had a dinner, commuting home on the train together, getting driven, dropped off. It's like I know I have to like like pay attention to like I have to get off at some point and walk away, and so we have to wrap this up. There's like a countdown, and so I can't be present. I fully don't know how to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The reason I liked the what to do is because I relate to it a lot, but it's
Yeah.
not that I'm good at it. I almost feel like there's a reframe that needs to happen of like, why do you think that these interactions should be lasting longer? Maybe you are actually being considerate. Maybe we're all being pretty considerate when we realize that these interactions can and should be on the shorter end. Like, is there
Yeah.
really anything wrong with that? She's saying that she feels like she's missing out on meaningful connections, but I don't know that you were going to have a meaningful connection with someone that you just randomly ran into. Maybe it's a person that you could
Someone you
connect with.
know. Well, it's
Yeah.
somebody that she already
But in
knows.
that
I think
moment, were you
you can
gonna?
have a meaningful little touch point.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's that look like?
Dude, I don't fucking know. I will say one thing that's been helping me recently, and maybe this sounds obvious, but I'm definitely someone who gets socially drained really easily. And a huge part of that is my fault because I think I have to deliver so much expression and so much banter and so much commentary to a
Yeah.
given conversation. And I've had several moments recently being at like a dinner party or so with like six people last night. And I'm looking around the room of like it's six or eight people coming in and out of various conversations, walking around this home. And like when someone's talking, I'm barely even clocking what the other people are doing, you know? It doesn't matter. They can be completely expressionless. They can be completely blank. They can be dead-eyed. They can be zoning out. They can be nodding. They can be commenting. They can be standing in a fucking corner. It doesn't matter. But when I'm listening to someone talk, I have this idea that I need to be like, chiming in with a comment or yesing
Hmm.
them or yang them or like
Active
my
listening.
expression, active listening. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. And it's just really draining to me. And I've had these moments recently of just being like, you don't have to like really give anything. Just fucking listen. If you start with just actually listening, which is so hard to do, I think that takes care of most of the conversation. Because if
Hmm.
you are actually listening, even if it's a 5 minute exchange or a 3 hour dinner, if you are actually just listening and putting no pressure on yourself to say something or to add or to demonstrate your listening, then you're actually listening. And something's going to come up if it's someone you connect with. Something's going to come up that you naturally want to say.
Yeah.
And if nothing comes up that you want to say, that's fucking on them. Like they're not interesting in this moment and that's okay. But that's literally something I've been like working on recently to preserve my social battery when I was like at this dinner party and I felt my battery running low. And I was like, why are you raising your eyebrows to like demonstrate
Hmm.
interest? Like, why are you like trying to active listen with your entire face? Just stand here like a person, like everybody else is, and listen or tune out or whatever. Just be here. You're allowed to just be here. And I don't know, that kind of helps me.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I've been working on the same thing, but almost from a slightly different entry point, because you were saying that you realize that you're not paying attention to what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, I'm not
So they're
judging
not
their
paying attention to
faces.
you.
Yeah, like I'm like, they're gonna, it's gonna be rude of me if I don't raise my eyebrows in
Right.
delight as
And it's like
much, you
nobody
know?
cares. But
Nobody
what I feel
cares.
like I've been doing more is actually paying more attention to how other people show up in these situations. Like there's
Mm,
six people, one person is telling a story,
yeah.
and I'm one of the five people listening to the story because I have noted about myself that I do this like overly performative, active listening, like I feel like I need to be in it with them thing,
It's
and it drains
annoying.
me. I've now
Yeah.
been paying attention to how everyone else shows up, like consciously,
Well, that's
and
yeah, why I was able to see
and
that
looking
they weren't doing
around and
shit.
being like, oh,
Yeah.
everybody else is just kind of standing here and looking at them. And so I'm still not
Just
listening to the
looking
person
at them.
because I'm looking at
Yeah.
everybody else, but it's like part of my learning, I think, to
Yeah.
get to the end point that you're talking about, where I'm like, huh, okay, I guess I could just be looking at them too. And like whatever comes out or doesn't, it doesn't matter. I've been noticing how other people show up in those situations and realizing that they don't seem to be like overly engaged and overly actively listening, and like nobody's bothered by that and nobody cares, so why can't I do that too? So
And
I'm trying to
actually
like
I've
mimic
yeah.
that more.
I feel like those people it who knows what's going on privately in their minds because everyone has their different
Right.
weird experience, but a lot of the time it can communicate this kind of like grounded ease, and it sets the tone of like we're just being grounded here and we're just talking, we're just listening, and like it can be, when you start doing performative shit, people often match your performative shit. It's annoying.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
very
when I
true.
say annoying, I'm talking about me. I am annoying to me.
Yeah,
But
no, I understand.
yeah, I mean, the best way to
um
be present in that moment is, I think the answer to the listener's question is not like, how do I come up with the best thing to say? Really, the answer to how do I come up with the best thing to say is just really, really listen. And
Listen.
something's going to come up that you actually mean and is connective. And if it doesn't, sounds like the other person was talking the whole time and maybe they didn't say anything inspiring, and then you move on. So there wasn't going to be anything that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that actually brings up something else that this made me think of, because I think I've talked about this before, but I had this one job, the job that moved me out to Chicago, so it was like 5 6 years ago. um and it was very big on like networking and sales, and like there were a lot of those types of competencies that I had to develop in this job. And so the salesperson at this company would spend a lot of time mentoring the younger like generation of workers there on like how do you network and how do you have conversations that ultimately result in like a sale of your business, but maybe don't start that way. And so he did a lot of practice with us. We had to do a lot of like role play with him to practice just talking to strangers or talking to loose connections. And one of the things that I think about all the time that he taught us during that was like, people feel that a conversation went well if they did a lot of talking. So if
Mm,
you actually listen more and
that's
let it
funny.
be them telling their story or them like
Lol.
going through whatever it was that they wanted to get out, you're doing the same thing that you're trying to achieve by active listening. Like ultimately your
Wow.
goal is that you are kind of a people pleaser like me, and you
Yeah.
want to make sure that this person knows that you're interested and engaged and you like them and you're part of it. And there's honestly no better way to have them know that than to let them talk.
Let them
And
talk about
a lot of people
themselves.
like that. So
Yeah.
that's something that's freed me up from having to do so much of the performance, because I'm like, oh, this conversation is probably going well to them because they're talking a lot. Let me just let them do that. And at the end of the day, it still rests on on this assumption that like I still care about them perceiving the conversation as going well. It still rests on me being a people pleaser and me wanting them to leave this conversation like having enjoyed it with me. But at least what it does is frees me up of like the draining stuff that I
Mm-hmm.
used to do more of. And I can feel good about, I just listened to this person and let them talk. And they probably liked
Mm-hmm.
that. And then I was more present. And then, yeah, it doesn't mean don't respond. If you have something to respond with, of course, do that.
It's funny.
Um, but just people like to talk in these settings a lot of the
Yeah.
times. And so let them.
I guess the slight difference is that one is like like a sales
Right.
dynamic is less mutual. than what this connective thing they want with a friend. But I still think it's great advice. Yeah. If you're just like in your head, as a lot of us are, about like,
Well, and
how do I have this connective thing?
a lot of the framing of these sales conversations too was like, you're not actually trying to make a sale in that moment. You're trying to connect with a
Yeah.
person. And then
Mm-hmm.
if you've connected, they'll remember you and they'll follow up, or you're building trust. Like a lot of it is more relational than it is
Mm-hmm.
transactional. So that's why I translated it from the like
Yeah.
business and sales setting into my personal life, because
Yeah.
to be good at the sales thing, you have to be good at making
Just
genuine
relational.
connections. Yeah. So, anyway, maybe that helps, but I still think like it is funny when you run into somebody on the street that you weren't expecting to run into, and you're just like, what do I make of this moment?
What do I do in these 45 seconds?
Right, I have
I
two
think
minutes with
those,
this person. It's an
yeah,
elevator
those
pitch.
those run-ins should be illegal. I think they're stressful to everyone.
Yeah.
But
Which is the reason that I think it's okay to just like make it fast. I think that
yeah.
everybody appreciates it being fast. And then sometimes what you could do is you could send them a text after if it's somebody that you feel like you do want to see more, you have potential with or something.
I like
You
that.
can
I like
use it
that.
as an in and
Yeah.
text them and be like, "Hey, it was so funny to run into you at the farmers market. Like if you want to go together next week, let's do that or something."
Yeah.
Like
I think that's
turn
a
it
good
into
idea
an
because then
opening.
you can just like know, you can almost have that as a rule for yourself if you're always like disappointed with what you make of those, short little passerby moments. You can just be like, I'm not someone who's going to know what to say in those moments, but I am someone who's going to smile, say hi, and then I'm going to use it to
For the
piggyback
next
off of
moment.
and send them a text. And I'm going to send them a text and then we're going to hang out.
Yeah,
Because if it's someone who
actually,
wants to hang out with you, then like it doesn't matter which way it comes, you can send it in a text after.
yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
I like it.
Okay,
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
What's on your radar? Have you gotten any interesting DMs or
Ooh.
other topics that you had?
Oh, I did save a DM. Oh my God. This is a random one. Somebody messaged us, someone DM'd us and said, "Hi, lovely ladies. I just wanted to let you know that I saw four barn owls in one day the other day. And it sounds like these were all separate because she writes, by the second one, I was thinking of you guys. By the third one, I had called my friend who also listens to the podcast. By the fourth one, I straight up lost my shit. Am I being followed by the owls? Please send all your thoughts and prayers to me over in Yorkshire, England." Wait, where is the context? I actually do need this explained.
Was there more context? What do you mean?
No, that's it.
Wait, do you not know what they're referring to?
Well, I just mean, was she just like
Oh,
in a
where was she? Yeah, yeah,
metropolitan
yeah.
center seeing four individual farm owls? Is she like in a barn-like area?
We do
What,
get a lot of
how?
messages about people seeing owls, which I love that that's become like a thing for us. And I
Yeah.
wish that the owl conversation had happened a little bit sooner than it did, so that we could have made the Kook University sweatshirt that you're wearing have like an owl in the middle of
Oh,
the emblem or something. Like that's our
yeah.
school mascot. Um,
Well, we can do it for our next round of merch, which will be on the front, the sweatshirt is an owl. On the back, it says, "Wrap this around you when you shit your pants in public." That's what these sweatshirts are for.
how many owls does it take
Yeah.
until you shit your pants?
All right, I don't have any more DMs, but I do have it's kind of a complaint. I think it's more a revelation or a discovery maybe, like an invention maybe.
Like a scientific
It's
discovery.
scientific.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have this invention of a thought recently, which is that I think it's really I'm not hating on avocado toast. Like I like it just as much as every other basic white woman does.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna say I'm like better than that, but I do officially hate ordering it from a restaurant. I think it's disappointing every time, and I think I know why.
Okay, tell me.
Isn't it bad every time? Am I wrong about
Well,
this?
I so far so good. I agree with you. I love avocado
Yeah.
toast as much as the next basic Lebanese woman, but
Yes. I
I exclusively make it at home now
Yes. I love avocado toast. I love overpaying for a fucking
for
single egg
anything.
and a piece of bread at brunch. I'll do it. And but they usually bulk make the like avocado mash
Yep.
in a lot of restaurants, and then even if it's not for guacamole, they usually like make it in bulk because it takes too much time to like grind it all up, and they'll have it in like a container, and then in order to make it not go brown they cover it in fucking lemon juice. And so
Right.
that's why when you get avocado toast in a restaurant, unless they have like freshly mashed the avocados, which they normally haven't, it's like wetter. It's like the wettest avocado, and it's fucking lemony. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, this makes it taste different. It didn't go brown, but it also makes it taste different. Like I couldn't just serve you a bowl of Cheerios and squeeze a lemon over it and be like, "Oh, pretty much the same." No, it's like significantly changed the
Pay
meal.
more for this, actually. Pay
Yeah,
more
pay
for
more for
this.
it. And it's always wet. It's always like leaking. You know, the avocado part's like
It
always
is too
leaking,
wet.
and it's lemony. And I'm like, "Why? Where did you even get these avocados?"
Okay, that's a very good observation because I do make my avocado toast at home with a squeeze of lemon over it usually, but
But you're not
that is
drenching it.
yeah, a very delicate amount compared to what they're probably doing. You're right. And it is also
Yeah.
it's important to me that my
It's
avocado
wet.
toast it still has like a chunkiness to the avocado. I don't want it like blended. I
Yeah, you
want
don't
it
like a
like
baby. Ew, I
mashed
hate that. Yeah,
onto
they've made
there.
it like a baby food,
I hate that.
wet, citrusy avocado mishmash. I want to say I get it 10 times out of 10 when I go to, if I order that at a restaurant, and it's taken me years of foolishly ordering wet citrus
Right.
mishmash to
Yeah,
realize
I've
it.
stopped. I've stopped because I eat it at home like 3 times a week. I make avocado toast for myself.
Hmm.
So I've stopped ordering it just because when I go out, I'm like, okay, I don't want the same thing I eat 3 times a week at home. But
Hmm.
it's also true that it's not as good. And I have not pinpointed why. So I thank you for that. I mean, this opens up a larger topic that I'm passionate
Please.
about,
I
which
knew you
is
had things to say. Yes.
well, you know, I love avocados and I love guacamole. I love Mexican food. It
I
is,
did not know that you loved avocados. You said that
I
so
love them.
confidently.
Oh, I just
You
felt like you
know,
could look
you
at me and
know that I
you
love
could tell.
avocados. I did
I don't
not know that. This is a random thing to tell me I know about you.
I thought it might have come up, but that's coming up now, and this is the perfect timing for it. I love avocados. I love avocado toast. I love
Okay.
Mexican food with
You
guacamole.
know.
But I
You know.
feel passionately that avocados need to be chunky in any place that they are. Like,
Okay.
I really don't like pre-made guacamole. Like, there's that holy guacamole brand that just is little containers of guacamole that you can buy like a pack of. And I get that it's like an easy snack. You can just like
Oh,
dip stuff in
it's
it
not
right
great
away.
though. It's not great.
And the reason it's not great, it's like it actually
Yeah.
tastes fine,
Yeah.
but it's
Ugh.
way too
It's the
blended.
texture. It's the texture, and I bet they put some lemon on it too, I think, now that I think about it. It's always a
Pro-
little more
It's
translucent
definitely
than
more
my
citric acid in there
avocados.
to preserve it.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
very
Well, like,
important to me that people when you make your guac
yeah.
or when you make your avocado toast, chop up the avocado into
Yeah.
large chunks
That's
and then
correct.
smash some of it, but not all of it. Don't fully mash it.
Wag your little finger,
Don't
but not all of
just
it.
try it. If you have been, I mean, dare I say, if you've been putting your avocados in a blender or something, then like stop listening to this podcast. But
Yeah, that is
if
interesting.
if you've been over mashing it, I urge you to try what I'm saying next time, and you're gonna see how the experience is better. And that's what I have to say
That's
about that.
strange. Oh, that
Yeah.
I know exactly that little guacamole package you're describing, and it really
Yeah.
grosses me out. And it always has like a film on it, or like a
Yes.
like a little bit of like a snail like they packaged it and then like a snail went over the top of it a little bit.
Snail mucin,
And
like we use on our
a
faces.
little snail mucin on the top. It's always a little, yeah, that translucence, like that some whatever kind of acid they put on to preserve it probably. Let's just all remind ourselves that when you cut open a fresh avocado, it is fully opaque. You cannot, no light comes through that
Please.
thing. If
Yeah.
you ever catch a glimpse of avocado that's a little bit of light is coming through it or reflecting off of it, something has gone very wrong.
Hold it up to the sun, for God's sake. Just hold it up to the sun. What are you doing? Why are you not holding all of your avocados up to the sun? The way that you go into a grocery
Uh,
store, is this a thing, or is this a my mom thing, or is it a Lebanese mom thing? My mom would go to the grocery store, and to choose the right like watermelon or cantaloupe or any type of melon, she would like hold it up to her ear and hit it to like hear
mm,
the hollowness of it or something. Is
mm.
that a real thing?
I didn't do that. I mean, I would sniff it. You
Can
can
you
like
really?
smell them. Yeah, you can smell certain fruits. You can like, I think certain melons you can smell when they're
You can
ripe.
smell.
I don't
Mm.
know about watermelon. Maybe you
She does a
have to
hitting
you listen to the sounds of
motion.
a watermelon.
Yeah, that's what she does. It's like a seashell type of vibe. So in the
Yeah.
same way that
Okay.
my mom
Like
does that,
interesting.
hold an avocado up to the sun. There's checks you have to do before you eat fruits and vegetables. Mostly fruits. Avocados are fruits. Yeah. This has been a great
That was a cute little aside you did to yourself.
a
Avocados
great
are
segment.
fruits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we look at our Google search histories in closing?
Yeah, we should.
Let's see.
Because that's what kind of episode this has been.
It is. It feels like it is.
Oh, here's one on here. Why does Selena talk different? Is a recent search of mine. Because I was trying to
S-
figure out Selena Gomez, like, she has a very different way of talking now, which I'm guessing is related to her lupus. It's kind of, but I don't really know
Yes.
I don't
It's
know that much about
slower.
lupus. So, well, it's kind of more like when it actually reminds me more of someone with Parkinson's, where it's very little, it's very flat, there's very little movement,
Yeah.
and it's not very expressive. And it is very, I was like, is it her lupus or is it her Botox? I genuinely didn't know.
Interesting. Did you find
Yeah,
out?
she definitely talks like her face doesn't really move.
I know
Um,
exactly what you're talking about. She
I
wasn't
actually
always
didn't
like that.
I didn't see a clear distinction on it, but I'm guessing it's related to something medical.
I think it is. I feel like I thought she had spoken about that at some point, and it
No,
was
she
something
definitely
medical.
has it. She definitely,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
spoken about
definitely a
her
known thing.
voice and her face.
Yeah, her voice and like the way she speaks now. I feel like she's addressed that, but
Oh,
maybe I made that. Maybe I just
that's why I
assumed.
thought I could Google it and find an answer, but it was kind of just suppositions.
Oh, interesting. It does seem medical, but
Seems medical.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
interesting. Um,
Mhm.
oh,
I've been looking for a good bread box. I've been in the market for a bread box.
ooh, why?
Is a bread box something, do I, is
I
it?
don't know. Is it more than just a bathroom stall for bread?
I think that's what it is. But I think
Like, does
we've
it
learned
actually
that I
do
really
something?
value a stall.
A stall?
Apparently, it's
Yeah.
supposed to like elongate the life of the bread. Like it won't go stale as fast and it won't go
Really?
moldy as
Because there's
fast
not
if
as
it's
much air going in. But it's
air
like you
and
already have
light.
it covered, but you already have it covered. Oh, there's light. Okay.
Light, yeah.
Little bread
Like if it's just
house.
sitting on your counter, then it's being exposed to light and other elements, maybe.
Dog, I put my loaf of bread, even a fresh loaf, I put it in the fridge and it lasts like a month.
I do that too. I usually leave it out for the first couple of days if it's like a nice loaf
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
a bakery and I'm like, I want the freshness. But then probably after day three, I put it in the fridge. But Ryan is not a bread in fridge guy.
Yeah, some people are really offended by it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm toasting it every time anyway. It's
Like
fine.
exactly. I feel the same. But anyway, so the bread
Yeah.
box is me trying to find compromise in my relationship, basically.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so speaking of compromise in my relationship, yesterday Ryan and I built patio furniture, and this is like our probably sixth building project together, and I think we have made huge strides in how we work together on building
Nice.
furniture.
It's awesome.
So it was successful. I'm excited about the patio furniture. While we were doing it, I realized that I'm just such a like type A like dom
You just realized that?
in my life. No, I
You
know
just
that.
realized that.
I know that in every area, but I always question it in my relationship. I'm like, should I stop? Like, should I just stop? Should I be more in my like feminine energy or something?
Well, describe. I'll tell you. I'll answer the question.
So we're building the
Describe
patio
it.
furniture
Okay.
and we're both kind of wanting to take the lead.
Ooh.
And it just feels after many projects of building stuff together that we should
Yeah.
really have one person take the lead each time. We could even maybe alternate, but
Yeah, it
like
makes sense.
there needs to be a leader and there needs to be a follower. If we're both
Yeah.
trying to take the lead, then we're gonna butt heads
Then
because
no
we're
one then no one's taking the follow. So by
right.
definition, nothing is being led.
And the
You
instructions
know
are
how every
already
company has two CEOs? Wait.
yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
we do. Well, we do.
That's
But
true.
we have different like things that we focus on for a reason. So yes, it should apply to other parts of life. So I just realized at some point while building the patio furniture, like, ugh, I'm doing the thing where I'm trying to take the lead, but Ryan's also trying to take the lead. I should just let him have the lead. And I like kind of backed off. And then we actually were able to get through it much easier than we have
Kudos to
other
you.
things.
Kudos to you.
And then at the end, I made a joke of like, I'm the you're the brawn and I'm the boobs or something. Or you're the brains and I'm the boobs, whatever. And then I was like, I'm the tits and you're the, and I was like, what's a T word that's like brain? And then I thought of thalamus, which is a part of the brain.
Okay.
So then I decided that Ryan's nickname for the day was going to be Thalamus.
Okay.
And I kept calling him Thal. I kept being like, yeah, Thal, like, great job on the patio furniture. Like, hey, Thal, what are we going to eat for lunch? And
So you're really gonna make him pay for this gift
I
that you
really
gave
drove it into
him.
the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, you really tried to
Anyway,
punish him for this.
one of my Google searches was thalamus just to make sure that
Okay.
I was right that that is brain related. So that's why I brought this up.
That's
But I
funny.
do think it's an interesting topic about like, you know, two people trying to take the lead or like the feminine and masculine in relationships. I don't know. I'm
Yeah. Have you
too.
guys ever said out loud to each other and acknowledged that it gets tense and weird and non-functional when you're both trying to, like,
Oh
has
yeah.
this been openly acknowledged?
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you can't, and then what was the, but it didn't sound like anything came from it. You were still left in a position where you had to like make a call privately on your own about how you guys were
Yes.
going to get through this next one.
So we've never had the moment of like, hey, when we approach projects like this, we should decide who's leading and who's following. We've not been that explicit, but we
Okay.
have talked about how when we do projects like this, we butt heads and it is because we're both trying to take the lead. We just like never
Mm-hmm.
made that next logical step of like, so let's get ahead of that and like assign it almost. Because
Mm-hmm.
that also feels like, I don't know, whatever. It's just not something that ever occurred to us as like something that needed to happen
Mm-hmm.
until, yeah, we were in it yesterday and I just caught myself doing the thing where I was trying to take the lead when it was already like the vibe was that he was going to take the lead because he was like reading the instructions and getting everything out and I
Mm-hmm.
was there to help. But
Mm-hmm.
then my tendency is just to like, oh, now that I'm in this, I actually know better or I actually like want to take more initiative or whatever. And so I
Yeah,
just caught myself doing it basically. And rather than saying out loud and making it a whole conversation of like, this is we're doing this thing again and I'm doing this and whatever. I didn't want to have a whole
totally.
conversation about it
Yeah,
because
I
it's
don't
just
think you
like,
have to have a conversation there. I was just wondering if
right.
you guys had ever named it together. So you're saying you haven't quite in that way,
We've like
but
half
like,
named it, I guess.
yeah,
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 we've
yeah.
like half named it
Yeah,
and then I
so
caught
he
myself doing
knows.
it
Yeah,
and then it did improve the situation. And yeah, I guess the reason I emphasize the part about not wanting to have a conversation about it is because I have a tendency to want to have a conversation about everything, which is why we have half named this before. Like, it's a
yeah,
good thing that we talk about a lot of things and a lot of the stuff that we like run into with each other and struggle with. But it's also, there comes a point when it's like, like it's so tiring to talk about
Yeah, if you've
every little
tired
thing.
yourself out.
Yeah. So that's why I was like consciously
Yeah.
like, if I've noticed what's going on here and I can control it on my own without
Yeah.
raising a stink, then just do it, dog. And I did it and it
hmm
worked. So I'm going to try to do that more.
I mean, it sounds to me like what I'm picturing is that this is an ego moment for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
And like the
Yes.
relatable, I think to me, what I think about is like, okay, why? Obviously, I know I could just let him take the lead. And there's probably plenty of moments where you do let him take the lead or do let someone else take the lead, and it's no blow to your ego. But
Yeah.
it sounds to me like this is a moment where like it left you a little, there was like a tiny seed of resentment that you wanted to jab him with after that, about being
Hmm.
like, I guess I'm just the boobs and you're just the brain and you're, hey, thalamus. Like there, that sounds to me like a little
Maybe.
bit of like my ego was a little hurt by the, or like there's something, I don't know, in those moments sometimes it's like I have to think about like why, I don't know what's a better example, but like if you and I were hanging out and we both wanted to make avocado toast and I'm like, I can make my own avocado toast, and then you were like, I'm gonna make it, this is so good, it wouldn't hurt my ego. But there's other moments that like things
Yes.
come up at the podcast sometimes where if you don't let me do something, it hurts my feelings because it's more personal, it's more part of my identity, it's more part an ego blow, or it's important to me that you see a certain quality of me.
Yeah.
Whereas with avocado toast, I don't really care. I don't feel like it reflects on me. It doesn't make a statement about me.
You know
I
I
don't
love
think,
avocados.
and I don't think that it's not something important that I need you to see about me. But I
Yeah.
feel like in those moments where I've experienced it with Justin and I'm like, so step one, I do think it's nice that you were able to like, um, just like volunteer to be the one to put your ego aside. And, hopefully Ryan does that too in moments.
Yeah.
But like,
He definitely does.
but also knowing that like there is something about this moment. There's a reason why I want this person to acknowledge that I could lead this well.
Yeah.
I feel like those moments come up all the time in relationships,
I
even
agree.
with so much mutual respect and love. I have those moments where I'm like, oh, it for some reason it bothers me that like I need to be seen in this way on this thing. And Justin and I had a lot of conversations pulling those apart where it was like earlier on in our relationship, and I had this feeling where he would like, I felt like he was not listening to me when I would tell certain stories, and then
Mm.
I and it really got to me in this way, and I like made it mean all these things in my head about like, you don't think I know things and you don't think I have knowledge and you don't think my experience is real, and like he was like, whoa, 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 where are you getting all this? And like I don't know, it just like I had this seed of resentment because I thought it meant something. I thought that his listening not listening in this moments meant something about how he viewed me or something, and it took several conversations of detangling with we had to go through specific conversations in a way that almost looked petty, but
Right.
we had huge discoveries going through it where he was like, oh, I heard you shutting down at this point, which is why I changed the conversation. That wasn't me not listening to you. That's was I thought you were shutting down and it kind of hurt my feelings. So I was trying to change the topic, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. I felt like it was helpful for us, if this relates, I don't know if it sounds like it relates, but just being like, I have a bit of ego in this moment, and when I
Yeah.
talk about it, it sounds petty, but like if, there's probably something in there that matters to both of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand what you mean. I think we have done those types of dissections with certain things. Um, but I think with living together, like there's more of this stuff that comes up that,
And you don't want to pick at all of it.
and you don't want to pick at all of it. Yeah. And
Yeah, yeah.
I think with this one specifically, as we talk about it, I'm realizing that it goes back to something we've talked about before, which is like the difficulty I've had with just like allowing myself to depend on someone and need
Mm-hmm.
someone
Mm-hmm.
because I was so independent and I lived on my own and I built all my own furniture and I did all my own tasks and chores. And um, I love that Ryan takes the lead on so much of that stuff in our house. Like, I appreciate it. I don't really like doing that stuff. So it's not like I want to be doing it necessarily,
Oh,
but
interesting.
it's almost like I want him to know that I could. And that is an ego thing of like, I don't want to lose the fact that I could if I had to, or like I did do this
Yeah.
before. Like I'm capable.
That's a
I can take care of
protection. You're
myself.
protecting that vulnerability of just letting yourself be taken care of fully. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be it. But I think it was a good moment for me to be like, back off and let him do it. And he did, and it worked out better. And it's kind of like, what do I want to choose in that situation? Do I want to
Totally.
choose my ego or do I want to choose having an easier, smoother time building the patio furniture together where we don't
Yeah.
bicker and we get it done and we move on. Like that is my priority in the moment over my ego, but that the habit of like your ego coming up and having to
Mm-hmm.
like actively check it is the learning and like the newer thing. So,
Totally. Yeah.
yeah, I think you're
That
right to call that out though. I hadn't really
well,
thought about it like that.
I just mean like I'm in those little moments of ego. And by ego, I don't mean like being an egomaniac. I just mean like we all
No.
have ideas about who we are and how we want our loved ones to see us. That's what I mean by ego.
Yeah.
And ideas we hold about ourselves or ideas we hold about how other people see us, blah, blah, blah. And um, I agree that it sounds like you did like a big thing to be like, I'm just going to put that aside for a moment. And I think that's something that like we all have to work at all the time. And also, there's something to be seen in that moment. Like, why? Why is that a moment for you? And I found that if you can get really clear on answering why that's a moment for you at all, then in the future, you might not even
Yeah.
have to do the work of checking your ego. You can just be like, I'm no longer fooled by like the veil of this moment.
Yes.
I know it's really underneath it, and maybe you could talk about that thing that's underneath it, and then the whole thing kind of evaporates, and it doesn't take any mechanical energy anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know exactly what you mean. Oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to building more patio furniture and just being such a
Oh,
healed person the next time.
yeah.
Maybe I realized that my role here is not to be the leader of the furniture building, it's to be the personality hire. It's to make everyone laugh, find the jokes, think of thalamus.
Yeah.
And maybe that helped my ego a little bit to be like, okay, I'll do something else. I'll be silly.
Yeah. You let him do his love language for you. Well, that's
Yeah.
the beauty of that. It's like he knows you can do it, but he's not doing it because you're
Yeah.
incapable and like asinine. He's doing it because
I
it's
know.
right, a gesture, I
He
assume.
does
I don't
so
know.
many things. He does so many things. We've talked about this. He does so many
I
things. It's
know.
so wonderful.
So
It
annoying.
makes my life so much easier. And
I
it's
know.
so annoying. Yeah, it's like,
I'm kidding. I don't think it's actually annoying, but I know what you mean. It's like
but
emotionally, you have to grapple with it then.
I have to grapple with it. I have to grapple with
Yeah.
it of like, is this imbalanced or should
Yeah.
I just like fucking show up one day, like show up to work? Like he's showing up to work every day. He's doing the cooking and doing the dishes and doing the building of stuff and doing this and doing that. Obviously, I know there's lots of things that I do.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just not the like
It still feels unsettling to
visible
you.
task oriented
I
things. And I'm
know.
still getting used to
I
that.
know. I
Yeah.
know. I get you. I really get you. But you're a princess.
Okay.
Yeah. You should be taken care of.
I'm a princess.
Yeah. You really
I'm a
should be taken
king.
care of.
You're a
I
king.
literally like take notes. I know you're tired and we want to go, but I literally take notes sometimes when I see women on the street, just in little moments, just accepting gracefully and graciously accepting the
Yeah.
gestures of kindness. And it's like to receive it with like the groveling thanks that I do sometimes kind of makes
Yeah.
it an icky moment. It's like just have some fucking chill, Caroline. And I try to just like mimic these women who just feel deserving of it or that seems like they feel deserving of it. And I'm like, I think everyone feels better about that moment. There because there's such a large space
Yeah.
between like feeling deserving and taking someone for granted. Like there's a lot of wiggle room in there and it feels like if I just accept the gestures, then I must be spoiled and taking them for granted. But there's a very long way you can go before that. And it's like everyone feels cooler about this if you just act like, yes, Caroline, you are a gracious, amazing, magnificent woman who deserves these luxuries and kindnesses. And he gets to feel like he scored this magnificent woman who deserves all these kindnesses, not some
Yeah.
fucking street rat who has to like grovel on her knees every time someone does nice for her. Like, he wants to feel like he scored something great too.
That's so
Yeah,
true. That's so true. The way that like, I'm not even performing because it's genuine, but like
I
there is a
know.
level of
Performing
performing the
gratitude.
gratitude of
Yeah.
like literally every night when he makes dinner 6 out of 7 nights a week. And every night I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Like I am. And I mean, he's a great cook, obviously.
I
Like,
know.
and I do really appreciate
But
it. And
you're
it's something
trying
I
to,
don't feel like doing. Like
yeah,
all of these things are true. I
yeah,
appreciate it more than anything. And also, I need to fucking chill out because
yeah.
it loses its meaning too,
It
probably for
does.
him.
But
Like,
the other thing I've noticed is like these things, you and I have had conversations before about these things because Justin and Ryan both do this, where it's like I think it's a completely fucking different category if I never asked you to do that thing. Like Ryan would be cooking you guys meals, as far as I understand, every single fucking night, and you've never asked him to, and he just wants
correct.
to. Same with Justin. I have never asked him to cook a meal for me. I am so
Yep.
happy eating Quaker oats out of a box. I
Yep.
actually really like that. I do not I
I
so
feel the same.
if you're doing a kindness for me that I didn't ask for, I get to say thank you. And like just it's so different from calling up Ryan and being like, "Hey, can you go pick up my laundry from the laundromat and also go take this package to the It's like doing you a favor.
A
If
favor.
you're offering this like freely of your own volition, I'm still gonna thank you. But like this is on you, dog.
Right. And like
Right?
that must mean there's some enjoyment in it for you. You were wanting to do it, you chose to do it, you were going to do it anyway.
And
Yeah,
if
so
you're
I
doing
don't
it
need to.
resentfully, that's also your problem. That's not my
Right.
fucking problem.
True. True.
Yeah.
No, you're so right. It is,
I mean, it's easier said than done. I can't
it's
fucking
easier
do it.
said than done.
I can't do it. Literally, sometimes I'll catch myself getting in, like a rambling of thank yous or I love yous or trying to convince them of my gratitude for their love and accepting me and la 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 la. And then I just be like, Caroline, just shut up. Just be here in silence. Just be here in silence. And that's so much more powerful. You're already hugging and kissing, you idiot. Like,
Yeah.
just be here in silence. You don't have to keep trying to convince them with the perfect rhetoric that you
Right.
love them and are grateful what
They're
they've given you.
here.
Just fucking be here and act chill.
Yeah. It's so funny that this is the same thing as
Yeah.
the topic we were just on about.
Building furniture.
No, before that, being
Shitting your
present,
pants? Oh.
shitting your pants. Yeah, that one.
I was like, is this
Being
the same?
present when
Are
somebody's
all the
telling a
lessons the
story.
same?
All the
Yeah.
lessons are the same, and they really come down to don't blend your avocados, please.
Yeah.
Please.
People pleasing. I think it's people pleasing and
It's
having to
people pleasing.
perform something instead of thinking you got to be there and receive just as much as we think Ryan and Justin deserve to receive our gratitude and our love. Why the fuck don't I get to 50% receive? I'm just going to chill and receive a little bit more.
I know. Sometimes he asks me what I want for dinner, and that's stressful because I'm like, I can't, but I'm not, I want, I will literally, it's so much. I have to figure this out. It cannot be the rest of
Okay.
our lives. But
Okay.
I, I will literally be like, I just want to be clear that when I ask you, when I say the thing that I'm about to say of like what I want for dinner, it's because you asked me what I want for dinner, as in like you were already planning on making dinner. And so
Yeah.
it's not me expecting you to make this thing for me. Like it's because you asked, and like I would be just as fine to just like make myself eggs and like
Okay. Okay.
whatever. You know,
All
I
right.
do this
Sit
whole
down.
thing.
Sit down, Jessica. So you're under the impression that Ryan doesn't understand what asking a question entails.
Oh, I
You think he
know.
doesn't know that he just asked you a fucking question
I
of a love
know.
gesture he wants to do for you?
I don't know like who I think. is watching me and like tallying
Your
how
ingratitudes.
many things that he does for me that I just like accept
Yeah, but it
willingly.
makes them feel good. These doer men,
I
it
know.
makes them feel like men. And I feel like my part of the bargain, I'm realizing, is to be this woman who so fucking deserves it. And that makes him feel good.
Yeah.
That makes him feel like more of a man.
Hmm.
I am a woman who is such a fucking prize, I have to tell myself. And
Yeah.
I deserve it. People are dying to do nice things for me, I tell myself. And he is the one I let do nice things for me. What a fucking winner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. It
I don't believe it
sounds
either. I don't
really
believe it
cool.
either.
It
I don't
sounds
believe it
really
either,
cool.
but it's the truth.
She seems
The
like
truth,
really hot,
dude.
you know?
I can't believe
Like,
it's funny that like I feel like this lack of confidence and self-worth makes more sense for my brand, but
mm,
in a way, I think of you as having a kind of confidence and a sense of your value that I don't have.
mm.
And but then it fades away in this area.
It fades away in this
It sounds
area. It fades away in this area for sure. It's like the one area that I've always struggled with that is my
mm,
romantic relationships. Whereas in friendships with family, with, just like myself in the world, I am at work. I'm very good at the self-assured, showing up confident,
yeah.
showing like I deserve things. Yeah. Just in the romantic relationship department. And I think also like with Ryan, I am the most myself. So
Mhm.
I
It's
almost
coming
think that
up.
like,
You're having to
yeah, I
face
almost
it.
think that me showing up in these other parts of life as that confident, self-assured, deserving woman is a little bit of an act. It is like me consciously being like, I need to act like I deserve things. If I want to get anything, like I got to show up
Yeah.
that way. But with
Mm.
him, I don't have to show up in any way other than me. And me actually has a lot of insecurities, and I don't really let them come up as much as I can help it in other parts of my life. So they end up coming up with him because it's like a safe place where I can be insecure. But then there's a way that that backfires, in a way
Yeah.
where it starts to erode what we're talking about. So it's a fine line. Like it's kind of a beautiful thing that I am this confident person, or I'm perceived that way and I show up that way in a lot of aspects of my life, and then I allow myself to be just like who I really am, which is like totally self-doubting and insecure sometimes with him. But it's also like he deserves that girl too. Like that's probably the girl he thought he was gonna get was that
It's
like
both. Yeah. I know what you
confident bitch, and I'm
mean.
both. And he accepts it all,
I know what you
of
mean.
course. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Totally. It is a
it's
funny
something I
balance.
struggle with. I still think Thalamus is a good nickname, so I'll probably stick with
Thalamus.
that. Okay, babes, this is it for today. Thanks for if you're still here by the end of this episode, then thank you for sticking through that first 40 minutes. I really needed to get some stuff off my chest, and you're a real one. You're a lover and a hater all in one. You're a kook.
I was happy to do it. I was going to be happy to go the whole episode, just shoot the moon and do that.
I couldn't do
I was
maybe
having a great time.
that can be our like 500th episode. It's just potty talk.
Shit talk. It's the real
If
shit
you liked
talk.
this, don't send this one to a friend. Just go leave us a review or something.
Yeah.
Do that.
Don't send it
This
to
time,
Justin
there's
either.
better episodes to send to a friend, I would think. But, you do you. And we'll talk to you next
Ooh,
time.
you know what we need requests for is like a big banger episode. We do our For You episodes, which
Yeah.
are usually just like nailing away like a deep dive on one topic that people are really craving. Like we did a For You breakup episode, a For You friendship episode, a For You career, blah,
Career.
blah, blah. Give us, if you want to DM us, send some For You episode requests of like, I want a deep dive on a subject that you suspect will be of high interest to a lot of people. Don't send me a
Yeah.
For You that's about this dynamic with you and your stepmom that we need a ton of context for. That's called a whatado. Okay. Okay. Think
Learn
about the
our
group.
episode
Think about the
categories.
group.
Thank you. You've been here long enough.
Bye.
Good idea. Kisses.